teacher expresses concern for education structure. A very good evening. This is National EMTV News. I'm Jaylee Sapies. Thank you for joining us. Police seized a military-issued hand grenade and detained 2 suspects in Bans. Acting PPC Jiwaka Chief Inspector Laimo Asi said police acted on a tip-off and maintained surveillance before arresting the 2 suspects inside the main market in Bans at around 6 p.m. yesterday.
The suspects were detained at the Bans police station cells, and the grenade was delivered to military officials at the PNG Defence Force establishment in Carawil for safekeeping. PPCRC said the bomb will be displayed in court for exhibit once the suspects are charged and being prosecuted. Now, according to PPCRC, the arrests stemmed from effective police intelligence gathering and networking with the local community. In a separate operation, police discovered a garden of tall marijuana plants in a village near Bans station. 2 male suspects were arrested in this operation, and the drugs were uprooted and taken to the Bans police station. Meanwhile, PPCRC said Jiwaka police raided a village in Klanga in North Wagi today and arrested a woman for producing homebrew liquor. The woman's arrest brings to 5 the number of people detained by Jiwaka police over the past 2 days. Natasha, Voy National, EMTV News.
The 4 people of Kutubu, Southern Highlands Province, have called for the intervention of the local MP and Minister for Defence, Dr. Billy Joseph, to address the ongoing misconducts by Poroma locals along the Poroma-Kutubu access road.
The 4 people have requested immediate action from the provincial police and Nipa Kutubu District Development Authority to restore law and order in the region, ensuring the continued access of Kutubu residents to essential services in Mendi and Mount Hagen. FOIA Association Chairman Mr. Johnny Yawari voiced concerns over multiple roadblocks by a group of locals from Poroma who have also threatened and cyberbullied FOIA leaders. Yawari condemned the unlawful actions and emphasized that all claims regarding outstanding service provider bills were false, as these debts had already been settled years ago. Yawari explained that in 2013 and 2016, significant payments were made to resolve financial issues with Poroma, including 8,000 kina to a businessman and 130,000 kina to another local businessman and Poroma youths. Despite these payments, the group continues to disrupt the road, demanding more money. The situation has escalated after the 2022 kidnapping of local Kutubu leader Kosi Sosoro. Yawari also reported ongoing threats, including demand for more compensation and threats of roadblocks if not paid. James Guken, National EMTV News.
Simbu Provincial Police Commander Superintendent Mazuk Rubiang has launched a cleanup operation in Kundiawa town to restore public order and safety.
Starting his tenure on January 8, 2025, Superintendent Rubiang wasted no time initiating the operation to tackle petty crimes and enhance law enforcement in the town. As part of the effort, a show of strength was conducted, focusing on drunk patrols and enforcing the province's liquor ban to address alcohol-related issues. Superintendent Rubiang called for ongoing support from all police officers and the public, particularly youths, to successfully carry out the initiative and improve safety in the province. James Guken, National EMTV News.
Prime Minister James Marape has announced that all Papua New Guineans must be registered with the National Identification System by September 16, 2025.
The directive is part of a new initiative to connect youth with government programs like education, skills training, and employment opportunities. During the launch of the inaugural PNG Youth Resource Week, Marape called for the National Youth Authority to open a 24-hour youth call center and encouraged young people to complete their education through the facility of open and distance education.
Government program SME stabilities, government program labor mobility stabilities. We don't look at youth from people pick him up. We make him out. We talk about it. We waste the time. We have to go. And so one. Ini salah mesti harus better. Ini salah better. Mahari. We come to you. We come one.
The program aims to connect youth with various government initiatives, including TVET education, MSMEs, and labor mobility. The Prime Minister urged government agencies to make these programs more accessible and visible to young people.
I want young boys and girls in our country going forward after the 50 years to be positive force and energy to change our country. And not going to talk about government and politicians. They can talk about you be grounded, stay on your ground, work from the bottom up, and government will open a different road. Second chance education, SME, go to Australia, sports, culture and tourism, play music and money, writing artists and money, kickboxing and money, play soccer and money. Possibility of opening up your path through many paths in life is there. Unfortunately, government is passing most of the
A full exposition will be held in February to further engage the youth and offer services. Marape concluded by encouraging the youth population to take responsibility for their future and contribute to building a stronger Papua New Guinea. James Guken, National MTV News.
Further embracing the opportunities for youths in the country, the Secretary for Education, Dr. Uke Kombra, encouraged those who had dropped out of school to take up food.
Launching of the youth resource.
The Secretary highlighted the benefits of flexible, open and distance education or FODE.
So once again, we encourage all the youth in Papua New Guinea and here that there is no one going to leave you behind. You yourself will leave yourself behind if you don't enroll in FODE. The FODE is free. FODE has got no limit to your age. FODE has got no limit to the class size. FODE has got no limit to what speed you have to go. You work at your own rate, at your own age, as long as you're disciplined and you do it, the government is providing this to make sure that no one is left behind.
He said this during the launch of the inaugural PNG Youth Resource Week yesterday, that so many young people gather on the first anniversary of the infamous Black Wednesday riots. Dr. Kombra noted that those taking up FODE in the country now have more chances of getting into the higher education selection system than previously.
Long this last year, we played out close to 2,299 students only completing grade 4 from FODE.
Dr. Kombra further emphasized, alluding to the success rate of students from FODE qualifying for colleges in the country after grade 12.
If you complete grade 12, you can now apply to higher education selection system. So suppose for grade 3 in a good plan, or any college can accept it. So last year, out of these 2,299, 1,299 students who qualified. Also close to half all mono-loan institutions.
The Youth Resource Week is an initiative aimed at promoting meaningful youth engagement to bring about active contribution. Natasha Ovoy, National MTV News.
National MTV News continues after the break. Stay with us.
Start your day the smart way with the new Smart Start Breakfast Biscuit. Whether you are busy or on a budget, Smart Start Breakfast Biscuits gives you a healthy and affordable breakfast to set you up for school or play. Smart Start Breakfast Biscuits are fortified with essential vitamins for body or brain health. They contain vitamin A for healthy growth and development, vitamin B6 for healthy metabolism, immune system and brain development, and vitamin B12 for nerve and cell health. Proudly made by Paradise Foods.
Hi, I'm Chef Jules Hennow, and this is where my true inspiration for cooking started. Like most of us, I learned to cook from my mum. Nothing beats simple recipes where fresh local produce is at the heart, especially when it's a home-cooked meal, prepared and shared with the ones you love. And in PNG, no meal is complete without rice. And my choice is always Trukai. Trukai, true inspiration through generations.
Remember the joy of playing with your toys as a child? At Morning Plus, we believe that every small business deserves a chance to build and grow. That's why we offer asset financing.
Our chance to building something new, to see a different point of view. With Morning Plus, we're ready to go.
Mipla Halivim Wari Bilong You.
Every day, 180 million liters of water pumps into Port Moresby. Every day, its journey to your household tap is made safe at this water treatment plant. Every day, raw water is filtered, disinfected, and purified so that you and your loved ones have access to clean, usable water. For 65 years, our water treatment technology has been hard at work, but now it needs to hit pause. Port Moresby's population has increased 500% since the treatment plant was built, putting enormous pressure on the water supply network. We need to hit pause so that the filtering equipment can be repaired, maintained, upgraded, so that the water you use and consume continues to be safe. For more information, visit our Facebook page.
Scene returns in February 2025. Highlighting our local sports developments across the nation.
All eyes are on Papua. How an NRL team based here.
Revisiting our legendary athletes.
Hi, this is
all the Yaka watching for.
Join me in February for Sports Scene, only on your number one to watch, MTV. You're watching National MTV News. A long-serving teacher in Koki preschool, Mr. Churchill Rory, said the education department should implement a standardized education structure. He said this while expressing his concerns about the 166 education structure in Papua New Guinea.
Mr. Rory was a pioneer teacher when elementary schools started in PNG and National Capital District. He was among the 155 elementary school teachers trained for Sikela Secondary School. Since then, he has been teaching in elementary schools in the city for the past 29 years. From his experiences, Mr. Rory believes that the government should implement a standardized education structure.
The situation, the standard of the education level is changing every now and then, not steady. So I'm appealing to the department and the government who should have a standardized standard. Every year, like before we were in a SBC and we came to a SBS again. Now we are using another method again. 166 came in, prep 1, 2, and the primary.
Mr. Rory explained the classes taught at Koki Prep under the 166 structures.
Koki Preschool, we are looking after only ECC. Today they call it ECC, but previously they said Koki Elementary Grade 1, Grade 2, and Prep. So today we are only looking after Prep classes only.
Koki Prep School, formerly known as Koki Elementary, has a student population of over 1,000 with 15 staff enrolling students from all over the city, and most of the staff reside outside of the school and travel in to teach. Lauren Jimal, National MTV News.
Meanwhile, Koki preschools in Moresby South Electorate have been facing infrastructure issues to accommodate the increasing population. Koki preschool head teacher Baltimo Pena said this during an interview with the newsroom this week.
Mr. Pena said that the school did not receive the final component of the government tuition fee subsidy last year and was unable to do maintenance on the weathered buildings. The head teacher emphasized that the government should inform them in advance if there will be no payment so they can seek alternative means of assistance for the maintenance during the holiday.
As of this year, 2025 and onwards, how we're going to run the school is very difficult for us. If educationist, the secretary, if you are listening, at least you should have making early awareness that you should have given early awareness or do some early awareness or early talks away that we should not receive any TFF last year so that we should prepare ourselves.
Mr. Pena said they have received components from the last quarters which were used for operational costs, expecting to receive the final component of the GTFS but haven't.
Yes, like we received Term 1 separate budget, Term 2 separate budget and Term 3 separate budget. But when it comes to the last quarter, we received nothing.
He said that the students will resume on January 27th and he hoped that the school would receive assistance to commence the academic year.
The teachers have to resume on January 20 and students will be resuming on January 27. So I imagine all the parents out there at least to make some commitment or make some full commitment to the school so that at least help one another within the school level. At this time we are facing a lot of financial problem in the school. How to go about it, at this time we are lost.
Lauren Jimal, National EMTV News.
With much to expect for the year 2025, member for Moresby South Justin Tachenko highlighted the Electorate's project anticipated for this year. On overall, significant attention is given to knowledge and skill building for children and youths.
Mr. Kachenko noted development for schools in the Electorate, also emphasizing on why it is important to take care of teachers.
We have our Sylvester Moria Primary School and the Killa Elementary School and teachers' housing complete in the next month. Got 12 teachers' houses for primary school being completed in the next couple of months at Killa Primary, and we've got 12 teachers' houses at Calgary Academy being completed in the next 3 or 4 months as well. So 24 teachers' houses.
He stressed that teachers are key to successfully educating children who are the future of this nation.
If our teachers haven't got proper living standards, proper place to work, and they're disturbed all the time and they can't come to work, that really disrupts the good work that they do for the benefit of our children's education.
The MP added that 16 classrooms would be constructed in Moresby South's Ragamuga area at 6 Mile.
We're first ever 16 classrooms and school, the new Ragamuga Elementary and Primary School. That will be started to construction this year.
Other projects anticipated for this year under the Moresby South Electorate include the opening of the Sir William Skate Memorial Oval and facilities, completion of the Konebada Beach development, and work on Taroma development as the new frontier for Moresby South. Natasha Ovoy, National EMTV News.
Meanwhile, member for Moresby South praised the outcome of the Labour Mobility Program for the Electorate. He said around 150 youths from Moresby South are currently benefiting from this.
Labour mobility is when workers can move around between countries that have such arrangements in place for the program. Mr. Kachenko said the Electorate is doing well with the Labour Mobility Program in Australia and New Zealand.
So far, we have over 150 Moresby South young men and women working for the last nearly 3 years, some of them now, in Queensland and New South Wales, doing exceptionally well. We're so proud, and we hope to have another 150 from Moresby South go over this year.
He added that this is through the Moresby South office liaising with the Treasury Department and Labour Mobility Program.
We've set up our own staff, so if any Moresby South young men or women would like to go overseas and work in these sort of areas, the option there in respect to ID, passport, medical check, and so on.
Natasha of Voi National, MTV News.
National MTV News continues after the break. Stay with us.
Hi, I'm Chef Jules Henow, and this is where my true inspiration for cooking started. Like most of us, I learned to cook from my mum. Nothing beats simple recipes where fresh local produce is at the heart, especially when it's a home-cooked meal, prepared and shared with the ones you love. And in PNG, no meal is complete without rice. And my choice is always Trukai. Trukai, true inspiration through generations.
Every day, 180 million litres of water pumps into Port Moresby. Every day, its journey to your household tap is made safe at this water treatment plant. Every day, raw water is filtered, disinfected and purified so that you and your loved ones have access to clean, usable water. For 65 years, our water treatment technology has been hard at work, but now it needs to hit pause. Port Moresby's population has increased 500% since the treatment plant was built, putting enormous pressure on the water supply network. We need to hit pause so that the filtering equipment can be repaired, maintained, upgraded, so that the water you use and consume continues to be safe. In January, Water PNG announces water rationing in Port Moresby. Yes, this is inconvenient, but safety comes first, a temporary discomfort for an investment in the future. We are upgrading for cleaner, safer water for all. Support us in this period by planning, rationing and conserving water. For more information, visit our Facebook page.
There are moments when we feel completely alone, even when we are surrounded by people, to the point of screaming, crying, and hiding from everything and everyone, as if something suffocates and oppresses us. It is at these times that we need to know
that the Word of God is faithful. The Word of God is true.
Faith in Action, 7:30 a.m. Saturday and 8 a.m. Sunday. Right here on the number one to watch TV.
Get ready for the return of Autonome in 2025, bringing to you fresh ideas and expert tips for enhancing your home and lifestyle. We're back exploring the outdoors on Out and About, staying active with health and fitness, caring for your furry friend on pet care, and so much more. Autonome returning with a new season, February 2025, on your number one to watch, NTV.
You're watching National MTV News. Now to overseas news. The Supreme Court is considering a possible TikTok ban.
TikTok is used by half of all Americans, but from January 19, they will gradually lose access unless the ban is overturned. The law to prohibit the video sharing app was passed by the US Congress in April last year, with lawmakers citing national security concerns. They argued Chinese ownership means the nation's Communist Party could potentially spy on American users and manipulate the content they see on the platform.
This country has never taken the step of shutting down a speech platform, much less such an important speech platform, because, as the government effectively concedes in its briefs, it's afraid that the content that could come out on that platform might be, dangerous. We don't normally think of speech as dangerous. The Supreme Court has repeatedly said speech is not dangerous. And you don't shut down a speech platform because you're worried about speech being dangerous. That is the whole point of the First Amendment, that we engage ideas with ideas and we let the truth come out.
By banning TikTok, we're not just removing an app, we're setting a precedent that threatens the very freedoms our country was built upon. Free enterprise, free expression, and the freedom to innovate without unnecessary government intervention.
U.S. President-elect Donald Trump backtracks on pledge to end Ukraine war in 24 hours.
From as early as May 2023, Donald Trump has said he could end Russia's war in Ukraine in a day if he was in charge. While as his return to the Oval Office inches closer, that timeline is now changing. Earlier this week, the US president-elect suggested that 6 months was a more realistic target to end the war in Ukraine. Now his nominated envoy to Ukraine, former US General Keith Kellogg, has said that 100 days is the new goal.
They're going to come to a solvable solution in the near term. I would like to set a goal on a personal level and professional level. I would say let's set it at 100 days and move our way back.
War analysts have repeatedly said that the prospect of ending this almost 3-year conflict in just 24 hours was absurd, and there are now questions being raised over this new 100-day target and just how realistic that is.
President-elect Trump will face huge, enormous difficulties because of that vision of the world that Putin has, where basically he wants to carve out pieces of neighbors' territory for his own pleasure.
But there are reports that some progress is being made towards talks. Both Russia and Ukraine have said that there are efforts being made to line up talks between the US President-elect Donald Trump and the leaders of Ukraine and Russia. These talks would be separate and would be in person, but that these wouldn't take place until after Donald Trump is sworn in on January 20. Meanwhile, on the battlefield, intense fighting continues. There are reports that Kyiv is suffering from troops shortages, while Russia is making gains in parts of eastern Ukraine.
Donald Trump was sentenced without punishment in Stormy Daniels' hush money case.
This was the long-delayed sentencing of Donald Trump on 34 criminal counts of falsifying business records. In May last year, a jury of New Yorkers decided he had falsified those records in order to conceal so-called hush money that was paid to the adult film actress Stormy Daniels. Donald Trump has been seeking to have this conviction overturned, but his legal avenues were exhausted, and Judge Warren Mershon has today handed down his sentence. Now, the judge told the court that, given in mind the extraordinary legal protections that are afforded to US presidents by the Constitution, the only sentence he could appropriately impose was one of unconditional release. Now, that effectively means Donald Trump will face no punishment for these crimes. But Judge Mershon did tell the court that while the legal protections are in place, they do not extend to erasing a jury's verdict. Now, Donald Trump was given a chance to address the court before the sentence was handed down. He wasn't made to appear in person as he was during the trial, but he did take the opportunity, appearing via video link with one of his lawyers, to address the court. Here's a little bit of what he had to say.
Now think about it. Legal expenses are down as legal expenses, and I get indicted for business records. Everybody should be so accurate. It's been a political witch hunt. It was done to damage my reputation so that I'd lose the election, and obviously that didn't work.
Wildfires continue to burn in Los Angeles, with at least 11 people reported killed.
This is the Malibu coastline. It's one of the most well-known parts of Southern California. And what we're looking at here is what up until a few days ago would have been prime waterfront real estate. Houses looking directly out over the ocean, right up and down this road. There is property after property that has been destroyed. Cars that have been burnt out. There is a power line here that has been brought down. The power in this area is off. And if we look down the coast, you can get really a small glimpse of the scale of the destruction here. You can see how this fire has come right up to the shoreline, damaging so much in its path. It's quite remarkable how many properties have been lost, and then just up the road from here I can see a lifeguard tower that is completely unscathed, but so much damage in this region. It's been hit what is known as the Palisades fire. It's one of two fires along with the Eaton fire to the northeast of here that has caused so much destruction, where fatalities have been reported and where thousands of structures have been damaged or destroyed. Favourable weather conditions, more favourable weather conditions at least, compared to those early stages of these fires, has helped crews to start to contain them, but it's pretty slow moving at this stage, and authorities are worried that conditions could worsen in the days to come. They are facing all sorts of questions about how they have handled this emergency, about whether Los Angeles was as prepared as it could have been for the catastrophic conditions that fueled these fires and allowed them to spread so rapidly. They insist that all of those questions will be answered, that reviews will be undertaken, but that at the moment they're focused on the emergency that is still unfolding. They have apologised for emergency alerts that were mistakenly sent out overnight to people who aren't in fire zones, aren't in evacuation zones. Tens of thousands of people still remain under evacuation orders.
National MTV News continues after the break with Trukai Sports. Stay with us.
They're gold nuggets. There's a flavor for everyone. The best tasting snack. Get a burst of gold nuggets. Cheese flavor.
Mega wow.
Chicken flavor.
Mega wow.
Cheese onion flavor.
Mega wow.
Barbecue flavor. Mega wow.
When you're on the go, one more. One more.
Get that burst of gold nuggets flavor.
Mega wow.
Hi, I'm Chef Jules Henao, and this is where my true inspiration for cooking started. Like most of us, I learned to cook from my mum. Nothing beats simple recipes where fresh local produce is at the heart, especially when it's a home-cooked meal, prepared and shared with the ones you love. And in PNG, no meal is complete without rice. And my choice is always Trukai. Trukai, true inspiration through generations.
Every day, 180 million litres of water pumps into Port Moresby. Every day, its journey to your household tap is made safe at this on the water supply network. We need to hit pause so that the filtering equipment can be repaired, maintained, upgraded, so that the water you use and consume continues to be safe. For more information, visit our Facebook page.
Are you seeking fulfillment for your life? Do you want freedom from fear? That's why we're here. Welcome to Jesus 101, introducing you to the real Jesus. And now, here's your host, Elizabeth Talbot.
Jesus 101, Saturday at 7 a.m. and Sunday at 7:30 a.m. Only on your number one to watch, EMTV.
People have different views about this situation that we are currently going on.
So vote of no confidence is an accountability mechanism.
Talk to you about our Project Zero, focuses on energy poverty.
In Focus returns in February 2025, a weekly news and current affairs talk show which presents in-depth commentaries, discussions and analysis of the major current affairs issues in Papua New Guinea and the region. We engage in discussions with key decision makers and influential figures across politics, industry, economics and business, as well as health, social, cultural and environmental sectors. Right here on your number one to watch, EMTV.
Hi, I'm Camilla Benson, host of The Art of, where we try to answer life's biggest questions through art. Is today the day?
Today's the day.
With amazing folks from all over the arts world.
The Art of, 7:30 p.m. Wednesday. Here, number one to watch, EMTV.
Trukai Sports.
Welcome to Trukai Sports. This weekend sees Game 1, Round 2 of the Public Servants match in Port Moresby's Rita Flynn Netball Courts.
PSMA Treasurer Caroline Lecker gives a brief background of the competition.
We started in October last year. We had our trials followed by our round 1 games. And then we took a break for Christmas and the festive period. And so we've come back and this is the first game for round 2. So today is actually the beginning of the round 2 games.
She further elaborated on who participates in the games.
About 4 new teams that have joined us. Our Public Servants Netball Association is open mainly to government state entities and government agencies. The competition is mainly for employees, female employees and male employees, their spouses and their dependents, their daughters.
Lecker added that it would be good to see more participation.
We'd like more state agencies and SOEs and government departments to join us in the next season. So right now we have over about 500 members that participate in the comp. And so we are excited about the end of the season, which we're looking forward to the playoffs.
Natasha Avoid, Trukai Sports.
In recent update, Round 6 of Southern Women Conference Soccer League has been deferred to tomorrow due to heavy downpour in Port Moresby yesterday, which saw the pitch still soaked with water. All matches will now be rescheduled to tomorrow, Sunday 12th of January 2025. The WCSL competition in the other 3 conferences will go ahead as scheduled today. Trukai Sports continues after the break. Stay with us.
Trukai Sports.
Share the love with Gullah Ice Cream, Gullah Cone Ice Creams, Gullah Stick Ice Creams, and Gullah Classic Tub Ice Creams. Happiness begins with the Gullah range of fun flavors which create taste adventures and excitement with every bite. Treat yourself. Share with a friend while chilling. The whole family will enjoy. Everyone has their favorite. Which one is yours? Share the love with Gullah Ice Creams.
Gullah, Gullah, yum.
Every day, 180 million litres of water pumps into Port Moresby. Every day, its journey to your household tap is made safe at this water treatment plant. Every day, raw water is filtered, disinfected and purified so that you and your loved ones have access to clean, usable water. For 65 years, our water treatment technology has been hard at work, but now it needs to hit pause. Port Moresby's population has increased 500% since the treatment plant was built, putting enormous pressure on the water supply network. We need to hit pause so that the filtering equipment can be repaired, maintained, upgraded, so that the water use and consume continues to be safe. In January, Water PNG announces water rationing in Port Moresby. Yes, this is inconvenient.
For the Hobart Hurricanes, there's a long way to go, but they have surged to the top of the BBL ladder after a 6-wicket win over the Sydney Thunder last night. That included the wicket of Sam Constas, the Test opener, for just 4. David Warner proved he still has it in a big way for the Thunder, who batted first. The veteran carried his bat, making 88 not out off 66 balls. The problem was he didn't have too many mates hanging around. He made more than half the Thunder runs as they finished on 6 for 164. The Hurricanes were in full control throughout and set things up nicely for Tim David to take charge with 68 not out off just 38 deliveries. Hobart now with 5 wins in a row and into top spot on the ladder.
And in tennis, the Australian Open main draw kicks off tomorrow.
18-year-old Aussie Maya Joint is a name to watch for the future and come the Australian Open. She had a golden run at the Hobart International this week, making the semi-finals. Unfortunately, she went down to Elise Mertens of Belgium in straight sets yesterday. Mertens will now play Macartney Kessler of the USA in the final. Alexei Popyrin tuned up for the Grand Slam with an exhibition match against Carlos Alcaraz. He went down 6-3, 6-4, but of course it doesn't get much tougher than facing the Spanish sensation. And at the Adelaide International, Canadian gun Felix Auger-Aliassime beat the #1 seed American Tommy Paul. He'll now face #2 seed Seb Korda in the final.
That ends Trukai Sports. The Money Plus weather report is next. Stay with us.
Trukai Sports. Trukai Sports.
Hi, I'm Chef Jules Hennow, and this is where my true inspiration for cooking started. Like most of us, I learned to cook from my mum. Nothing beats simple recipes where fresh local produce is at the heart, especially when it's a home-cooked meal, prepared with the ones you love. Gee, no meal is complete without rice. And my choice is always Trukai. Trukai, true inspiration through generations.
Every day, 180 million liters of water pumps into Port Moresby. Every day, its journey to your household tap is made safe at this water treatment plant. Every day, raw water is filtered, disinfected, and purified so that you and your loved ones have access to clean, usable water. For 65 years, our water treatment technology has been hard at work. But now, it needs to hit pause. Port Moresby's population has increased 500% since the treatment plant was built, putting enormous pressure on the water supply network. We need to hit pause so that the filtering equipment can be repaired, maintained, upgraded, so that the water you use and consume continues to be safe. For more information, visit our Facebook page.
Start your day the smart way with the new Smart Start Breakfast Biscuit. Whether you are busy or on a budget, Smart Start Breakfast Biscuits gives you a healthy and affordable breakfast to set you up for school or play. Smart Start Breakfast Biscuits are fortified with essential vitamins for body or brain health. They contain vitamin A for healthy growth and development, vitamin B6 for healthy metabolism, immune system and brain development, and vitamin B12 for nerve and cell health. Proudly made by Paradise Foods.
See it in your eyes.
Hi, I'm Camilla Benson, host of The Art of, where we try to answer life's biggest questions through art. Is today the day?
Today's the day.
With amazing folks from all over the arts world.
The Art of, 7:30 p.m. Wednesday. Here, number one to watch, EMTV.
I feel like I have been murdered, but my body has been left alive.
They bring to light what was in the dark.
Their attackers were found guilty, but weren't jailed.
Lifestyles amplified on the big screen.
I could feel my brain shutting down.
The evils of a secret war.
This is 60 Minutes.
Watch 60 Minutes, 9 p.m. Sunday, right here on your number one to watch, EMTV.
Sports Scene returns in February 2025. Highlighting our local sports developments across the nation.
All eyes are on top of how an NRL team based here.
Revisiting our legendary athletes.
Hi, this is David Mead.
Trending athletes. And our talented rising stars.
Hi, my name's Gemma Schnobel.
And then all the younger ones will follow.
Join me in February for Sports Scene, only on your number one to watch, EMTV.
Dreaming for more than the life we've known. There is more to what the future holds. You may hold him and walk one time. Oh, 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 oh. We dare to beautiful things. Oh, 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 oh. With Money Plus, we're ready to go.
This weather update is proudly brought to you by Money Plus, with you always.
The weather report for the next 24 hours. In the southern region, Port Moresby City partly cloudy today with afternoon showers and possible thunderstorms. Daru, cloudy periods with rain showers and possible thunderstorm. Kerema, partly cloudy with afternoon showers and thunderstorms expected. Alotau, cloudy periods with occasional rain showers and thunderstorm. And Popondetta, cloudy periods with occasional rain showers and thunderstorm. Moving on to the Momase region, Lei City, cloudy periods with afternoon rain showers and thunderstorms expected. Medang, partly cloudy. Wewak, partly cloudy. And Vanimo, partly cloudy. In the New Guinea Islands region, Lorengau, partly cloudy with few showers. Kavieng, partly cloudy. Kokoporabal, partly cloudy. Kimbe, partly cloudy with some rain showers expected. And Buka, partly cloudy. In the Highlands region, Mount Hagen City, morning fog clearing to partly cloudy, then afternoon evening showers and possible thunderstorm. Goroka, Bans and Kundiawa, morning fog clearing to partly cloudy, then afternoon evening showers and possible thunderstorms. And Mendi, Tari and Wabeg, morning fog clearing to partly cloudy, then afternoon evening showers and possible thunderstorm. In the small ships forecast, waters of southern PNG Indonesian border to Daru to Kiwai Islands to Kerema and to Yule Island to Hood Point to Samarai Islands, sea 0.5 to 1.3 meters. Waters of Samarai Island to Cape Vogel and all Milne Bay Islands, sea 0.5 to 1 meter. Waters of Cape Vogel to Horn Gulf to Finchal Fen, sea 0.5 to 1 meter. Waters of Finchal Fen through Vitia Strait to CRC Long Island, seas 1.5 to 2 meters. Waters of Medang to Wewak to Vanimo and northern PNG Indonesian border, seas 0.5 to 1.3 meters. Waters of Manus and its western group of islands, seas 0.5 to 1 meter. Waters of New Island to East New Britain to Bougainville, seas 0.5 to 1 meter. And waters of West New Britain, seas 1 to 2 meters. In the ocean forecast, Coral Sea seas slight west to northwest winds of 5 to 15 knots. In the Solomon Sea, seas slight to moderate northwest to westerly winds of 10 to 20 knots. In the Bismarck Sea, seas slight northwest winds of 10 to 15 knots. And in the Pacific Ocean, seas smooth to slight northeast to northwest winds of 5 to 10 knots.
The weather update was proudly brought to you by MoneyPlus, with you always.
And that wraps up the news, sports and weather for Saturday, the 11th of January 2025. From all of us here, pleasant viewing. Good night.
This news program was proudly brought to you by Smart Start Breakfast Biscuits